Welcome back to the Any% Unrestricted Classic tutorial. In this video, we're going to be going through Hell on Earth and Hell on Earth's Fortress, as well as just starting a run, which is this. You start with a fresh save file, new slot, choose the lowest difficulty, I'm the young that die, and then it'll start loading. So usually there's this big 25-second cutscene at the very beginning of the run. Other categories need to watch it because it awards a codex. However, as the any% completion rate, we do not have to. We're also playing on Classic, so where we can just reload the game. Ultra Nightmare, the game bars you from reloading, which allows us to do this. You can listen for that menu noise, Alt-Tab out of the game, and Alt-Tab back in, and then reset mission. Sometimes the reset mission trick does not work, and you're going to be brought back to the King Novik cutscene. In that case, just use exit to menu and hold down spacebar, and it should work then. Once you've reset mission, just press space to continue. Shoot these 3 zombies. Your first shot should try to be as far away as you possibly can. If you miss it, just reset mission again. You're good. Now I'm going to do the next sequence of events first, and then I'll explain exactly what's going on. So B-hop here, grab chainsaw, box skip, mantle, and then get sticky bombs. So I'll break down the sequence of events here. First of all, the line that you take here is very tight in order to make this zombie that stands here not slap you on the back. If you kind of walk around wide like that, and you're like really doing these wide curves here, he's going to slap you on the back, and you're not going to have a good time. He's going to boost you, and you're going to hit this, and you're going to be frustrated and reset your run, and no one likes that. We used to think, actually, that this guy would slap you more often when you jump. I think that the jumping does contribute to something with his behavior. However, what's more important is that you're taking just as tight of a line as possible around here and being as far away as you can so that his big lunge doesn't hit you. I'll show that again here. I'm really hugging this wall here without actually touching it. There is wall friction in this game, so keep that in mind. If you're hugging a wall, you want to be close to it but not touching it. Then right at the top of the staircase, right around here, I do press my single space key. That's very important. Single space key, and then try to go for a lurch hop here. Unfortunately, because I'm not using my double jump, if I use my double jump, obviously I bonk here. Unfortunately, you do have to time this, but you can get a nice little speed boost. Usually saves between half a second and a second, depending on how good it is. Oh, it's a glory kill zombie. But yeah, don't fret if you miss this. What really matters the most is that you get that shot off on the zombie that stands here, because he'll just get rid of all your speed. Then you grab chainsaw. And now for box skip. Everyone has kind of a different way of doing box skip precisely. I'll show you my way. I like my way because I very consistently will get to the ledge here. This ledge that I just shot there, it's important that you mantle there and not the wood. I'll just kind of demonstrate why. Now, I can just kind of walk this way and go to stickies. However, if I mantled on the wood, you get stuck here. You have to do a little jump and then go here. It's extremely, extremely minor. However, it's a consideration. It's at the very beginning of the run, so you might as well be conscious of it. Before we get into box skip, another thing to be conscious of is there are 2 mantle animations in the game. That one that I just got there was a long one. That was a short one. Depending on your double jump timing, you can get a long mantle or short mantle here. Just something to be aware of that, you know, if you're wondering, oh, where am I losing this less than a second in the first segment of Hell on Earth? This could be why. Or mantling in the wood could be why. As for performing the skip itself, this is a punch boost. And we're actually punch boosting on this homing plate here. If you punch near this, the game will hone you into it. as covered in like the tech tutorial and strat documents, you'll you know, I'm not jumping here, but I'm getting a bit of an upwards momentum there. So I come in with this sort of line from the chainsaw. I like to align myself parallel to the box, my mouse movement, and I'm strafing diagonally. And I look right around this corner. It doesn't, once you get this skip down to muscle memory, it doesn't matter exactly precisely where you're looking. What matters the most is that you're looking in generally the same area every time, and you're holding W, and you do not jump. You don't use your single jump. So I come in, hold down W, turn around fast, and then double jump as high as I can. Now, what determines your horizontal speed here is your strafing quality. That was pretty good. That was also pretty good. I even got a short mantle there. If you turn way too fast, might have been hard to tell, but I was moving just a little bit slower. Definitely try to practice this a lot, because this skip can be very finicky. This is the type of skip where you get it 20 times in a row, then the next day you just are absolutely missing it. Whenever you get into a bout of missing this, just make sure that you have your fundamentals down, and you'll probably get right back into the groove of it. Make sure that you're holding down W. That's one thing that I found myself often forgetting when I would just have a bout of not being able to make this. I found that I wasn't actually holding down W. Holding down W is very important, because it's actually important with basically all punch boosts. There's some exceptions, but if I don't hold down W, I have like no height. See? Mechanically, I can't really tell you exactly why. However, it is extremely important to hold down W. The other thing that could happen with box skip is you might bonk your head. That tended to happen to me when I think I was looking more to the left. Yeah. If you look more to the left, you'll bonk your head a lot. The reason that is because you're actually when you're around here looking to the left, you're actually a shorter distance away from what you're actually punch boosting off of, which is the green part over here. When you're a shorter distance away from what you're punch boosting off of, you're going to get less height, or less of a boost from it. Specifically, we're the same vertical distance away from it, which means that we're going to get roughly the same vertical quality. However, you can imagine a triangle, like the hypotenuse of a triangle, from the center of the other side of the box to where you're standing. You're farther away when you're over here. And the farther away you are, the more horizontal speed you're going to get out of the boost. Specifically, the farther horizontally you are away from it. So that's a consideration there. For a while, actually, I was even doing box skip like this, trying to get as much horizontal speed as possible. That was actually really nice. However, when you're at this corner, it could kind of act weird like that. That was a ridiculous boost there. I definitely recommend looking more towards the right side of this thing rather than like the corner here. If you're really trying to get an absolutely perfect, ridiculous speed box skip, then look farther to the right. So yeah, that's box skip. Everyone's favorite skip. We do box skip in just about every single category. If you get sticky bombs, you do box skip, and every single category, at least at the moment, gets box skip. Or it gets sticky bombs. Now, come around here, grab stickies. Now, as soon as this modbot, I didn't actually get it there because I was talking, but as soon as this modbot is visible, you can load checkpoint. Not load checkpoint with the button, but load checkpoint via exiting to menu. The inputs there are going to be, as soon as the screen shows the first frame of the modbot, you're going to escape, up, space, left, space. and really try to get used to that menuing. We're going to be doing that a few times throughout the run. Both mod bots that we pick up, as well as some other spots, you're going to need to exit to menu. So, yeah, getting fast at that menuing is actually pretty significant. So now that we have chainsaw and sticky bombs, there's absolutely nothing else we need in this level for this category. So we're just gonna go out of bounds, yeet out with a stuck boost, a stuck slope boost, and that'll be that. I'll show you the strat in full initially, and then I'll break it down into each of its small components. Shoot this guy, boost up, jump out of that little crevice, walk forward, do the stuck boost, align yourself with the citadel like so, and land right in front of the button. And also skip the cutscene, obviously. That was a lot all at once. I'll break it down into each of its individual components now. First step in that whole sequence is going to be walk forward towards the door. If you just stay here, the door is not going to open. Walk forward. Don't be a dumbass like me. I've done this before. Don't be like me. There's the door. Then we're going to pay our old friend a visit. This guy, as I said before, he likes to slap you on the back. Before, we took a very tight line on the right side here. However, we're going to be kind of stopping ourselves for just a split second and then tapping macro on here. He's going to slap you. He's going to slap you. Just lob a sticky, like, on the ground at his feet. He'll die. Don't worry about that. Now, for this, all I'm doing here is tap macro, and you go through the ceiling. Now, I want you to make note of exactly where this hole in the ceiling is. It does not extend all the way to the right. So, as before, do not hug this wall. Also, do not extend all the way to the left. It's sort of like a slit here. It's larger than Slayer width, but so it's not super precise. I just sort of look at the left side of the staircase, tap macro, and boom. Now, when you tap macro, there's kind of two heights that you can get. There's the full height, like this. And then, as you saw before, with a very small tap, let's see if I can get it here. With a very small tap, you'll get, like, this height. You kind of don't want either of those. Like, macro is still fine for this, but I honestly prefer doing a scroll, because it lets me get into a boost that's like a little bit of an in-between area, as you saw there. I like to do just sort of a fast little scroll, and then land here. What's important here is that you don't really want to get a low boost, because while ground acceleration is higher than air acceleration, there's a ton of weird geometry here that is going to like it's going to like suck you around to the left and right and just kind of throw you around while you're trying to get down here. It's super annoying. Just bypass it by landing here. So you just land straight here. I'm sort of wedged between this horizontal beam here. It's kind of hard to see without it's probably hard to see in the recording, but you can see it there. Right next to this horizontal beam, wedged right here, and there's a slanted roof to my right. What I'm going to do here is press my single space key, and now I'm on top of the beam, but I'm to the left. Now, tap your left key, and then hold your right key. For me, that's A and D. And you hold it for just sort of, you know, a little less than a second. Now I'm here. You can see that there's this little jut out thing here. There's this black wall in front of you, and there's the chainsaw tutorial room. Look towards here and just kind of smash yourself into the wall. Now keep holding forwards down and then tap your left key until you see this solid black line appear here. When you see that, keep tapping until that solid line meets with the with this solid line up here. Then you know that you're in a good spot, and you'll be able to execute the stuck boost. I'll do that one more time. Sort of like that. Hold down forwards and right. You can see I'm not going anywhere. Now I'm going to hold on weapon wheel, wait for the time slow to go into full effect, and then just hold macro. You can see I am still holding down the weapon wheel here just for demonstration. I just built up a ton of speed, and when I let go of time slow, it's going to when I let go of time slow and then hit a movement key, it's going to throw me out. I didn't even need to hit a movement key there because I overcharged it a lot. However, that's a basic rundown of how you execute the stuck boost. So, important step, once you get the timing down well and you're, consistently getting into good stuck boost spot, you're getting stuck and you're getting a boost. You should work on after that is when you actually let go of time slow and you let go of macro, you're going to be kind of situated here for a split second, and then the game will throw you out when it decides to. However, you can forcibly throw yourself out of the stuck boost spot by just pressing backwards or turning around and pressing forwards, whatever you choose. I like to press backwards and then turn around to start my my strafing, which we'll cover next. Just like that. So we basically want to make a big 180 all the way to the Citadel, which is that way. I'll demonstrate that here. I'm a little bit high here. You can see I'm slowly moving my mouse, and there's the Citadel. I'm going to freeze myself in midair and talk about positioning here. So you can see to the left there's the barge. If I look at that, then it'll disappear, but to the left, that's the barge. And there's the Citadel. You can see this triangle-shaped texture here, and all the other textures are kind of flickering in and out of existence as I'm moving my mouse. You want to be to the left of this triangle texture. And you want to be on the line that these two flames are making. Because this is the center, right down the center of the Citadel. You can see if I fly over here, this is where the button is going to be. And this is where you want to land, right in front of the button. The button is not rendered until you actually press it because we're breaking the goddamn game. But trust me, this is the button to end the level. Now, one super important thing to note about the strafing here is your speed. Now, this is very important here because you don't have air control, so you need to be very conscious of how fast you're turning. But this principle also applies to everywhere in the late game and the mid game. Just everywhere throughout this run, it's going to be a recurring theme. Do not strafe too fast, because you might just cancel out a ton of your speed. I have a speedometer given by the trainer in the top right corner. You can see when I get the stuck boost, I'm moving at 213 speed, and I'm turning slowly. I'm just going to keep turning, try to demonstrate what's happening. I'm turning slowly, and I'm staying at 211. I'm going to slowly accelerate my mouse. If I turn too fast like this, I went down all the way to 156. Now here's what happens. I'm just falling into the void now. I'll hold down W, and now I'm going to press D. Immediately, speed got reduced by 20 meters per second. So you do not want to redirect yourself forcibly like that. Do not, and this goes when you do have air control later in the game, do not fight the velocity that the game is giving you. So here's the full strat once more. Jump. Hug that. Wait a second for the music to get muffled. Boost. Look down to get your bearings with that visible geo in the barge. Align yourself with the Citadel. And land. Sometimes that'll happen where you just kind of like lurch super far forward. Don't worry about it. As long as you do not hit the top of the button, you're fine. If you hit the top of the button, you'll get a huge shrimp and fly all the way over there, and that's not fun. So don't do that. So you're going to interact with the button, skip cutscene, hold space or enter to exit the level, and that's how on Earth. Congrats. So the Hell on Earth Fortress is kind of rapid fire small stuff. I will show it all at once because it's kind of all, it's meant to be sort of in a big fluid motion, and then I'll break it down into the individual components. So first, skip cutscene, small slope boost bonk, grab the flame belch using a chainsaw animation cancel, lure chop, grab the ammo crystal, and reload as soon as the sentinel crystal starts moving, as in like the Slayer, as soon as the Slayer's hand interacts with the crystal to punch it. I'm going to walk forward, hit the stairs, lure chop here after doing a small slope boost and bonking your head on the ceiling. Wow, okay, that was a lot. Let's break it down. First thing we're going to do is skip the cutscene, and we're going to attempt a slope boost off of this geometry here, bonking on this arm, sending us right to the flame belch. This is kind of an advanced strat. You don't have to even go for this. It saves a second or less than that. But it is very cool. You can show all your friends that you can do minor optimizations. Now for this, we do not have another weapon to swap to in order to skip this animation. However, on this patch of the game, if you just tap your weapon wheel key, you'll bring out the chainsaw. And that's how we're going to skip this animation. Boom. As soon as you get that, we're going to go this way, double jump, attempt a lure chop. Of course, when I'm recording, it doesn't work. However, we're going to attempt a lure chop. Said, we're going to attempt a lure chop. Bring us to the sentinel crystal. The lure chop is not like strictly required, but you are going to get here a little bit sooner, so it does save a little bit of time. And you're going to hit this ammo crystal. This is the closest one to where your cursor usually is. These three are also options. I like to choose this one though. And we're going to exit the main menu as soon as you see the Doomslayer touch the ammo crystal. He's going to punch it. As soon as his fist actually like intersects with the sentinel crystal, you can exit the main menu. Like so. When you come back in, you're going to be put here, and you're going to notice that the sentinel crystal is broken there. I'm going to show you now what happens if you reload it too early, just so you know what happens. You can see that there's these like debris particles around here, and you saw them moving when I actually came in. We're soft locked now. See that the actual thing here looks really weird. Cannot interact with the button like you should be able to. The game thinks that you haven't grabbed the sentinel crystal, even though you have. And the only way to get out of this is to reset mission, which is goodbye run. So yeah, don't soft lock yourself. Now, given that you don't soft lock yourself on reloading there, you'll be put here. This thing will look normal. And we're going to move forward, and on the staircase, we're going to hit your macro key, and you want to bonk yourself on the flat part here. If you hit the slanted part, it's actually very much not ideal, because you'll either get stuck here, which is, oh my god, that's so annoying, or you'll go right under that stucky spot, and you'll just go way too far. So if you hit the flat part, you'll immediately decelerate, you'll hit the ground pretty fast, and you're at a super high height, not super high, but pretty high height, to get a pretty good lure chop. Then once you get that lure chop, press the button, and we're done with Hell on Earth and Hell on Earth's Fortress. Next time we'll be doing Exultia and Ripatorium, and yeah, see you then.